Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Bitcoin price closes in on all-time high as political and TradFi tone and tenor shift. Next, Ex-Goldman Sachs executive predicts weaker US dollar, rallies for gold and Bitcoin amid macro summer. Also, US government-associated crypto wallet transfers $2 billion of DOJ-Seized Bitcoin, says Arkham data. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline: Bitcoin price closes in on all-time high as political and TradFi tone and tenor shift. BTC price rallied as an improved regulatory outlook in the U.S. and a series of improvements in the Bitcoin ecosystem altered investor expectations. Bitcoin gained 10% between July 25th and July 29th, flirting with the $70,000 resistance level. Despite an initial failed attempt that drove Bitcoin's price down to $68,000, investor sentiment has completely turned around from 3 weeks ago when Bitcoin's price traded below $55,000. Improved regulatory perspectives and a weaker economy favor Bitcoin. Some market participants argued that the main driver for the recent rally has been political support from leading candidates in the United States presidential election. Others claim that Bitcoin's demand arises from fear of an impending economic recession. Solo Sese, CEO and co-founder of the Galaxy Web3 wallet, argues that the economy is in bad shape as credit card defaults reach 12-year highs and new home inventories surpass the 2008 peak. While Solo's article does not foresee the crisis hitting markets in the short term, it states that 2025 will be bumpy, even as $100,000 still isn't enough to comfortably raise, feed, and house a family in most places. Even if the recession does not immediately impact consumers and the job market, given that the U.S. Federal Reserve is likely to lower the interest rate in the near future, investors fear that the stock market might have peaked. Some analysts point to tech giant NVIDIA's 20% drop from its June all-time high as evidence that the initial depression signs of the artificial intelligence hype are showing. Investors are becoming increasingly less confident in the tech sector's capacity to grow. At the same time, the economy started to display weakness after McDonald's revenue came in lower than market estimates in terms of sales and earnings. The leading global fast food restaurant chain experienced a 0.7% same-store sales decline in the U.S., the first negative number in 4 years. Similarly, Heineken shares plunged 10% after a $103 million quarterly net loss and weak beer sales growth. Trader and economist Alex Kruger offers a different explanation for the investors' sudden shift to a more favorable view of Bitcoin. According to Kruger, Bitcoin has now become a political issue, likely meaning that candidates are trying to gather political support from the crypto industry. But the economist goes one step further, stating that politics will be the single most important driver for prices until November. It would be misleading to say that the current U.S. government administration or candidate Kamala Harris endorsed Bitcoin or declared support for the crypto industry. The effort by Harris's team to establish a more constructive dialogue followed a July 26th letter penned by Democratic representatives and candidates calling for the party to change its hostility toward the crypto industry. The sudden interest from Harris's camp also followed increased support for their rival, Republican Party nominee and former President Donald Trump, who delivered a keynote speech at the Bitcoin 2024 conference on July 27th, highlighting his constructive view of the industry. Regardless of the intentions driving the recent improvement on the regulatory front, the perspective is far more constructive. Bitcoin miners signal strength after initial fear of sell-off. Lastly, Bitcoin's estimated mining processing power jumped to an all-time high of 667 terahashes per second on July 26th, virtually eliminating the concerns caused by April's halving, when the incentive was reduced by half to BTC 3.125 per block. Initially, this movement drove some inefficient miners out of the network, causing Bitcoin's hash rate to drop 16% on July 1st, reaching its lowest levels since February. Traders feared that the reduced profitability would force miners to sell their holdings and cause a death spiral, as the negative pressure on the BTC price would further drive participants out of the market. However, the most recent surge in the hash rate metric reflects miners' long-term commitment and confidence in the Bitcoin price. Given the improved scenario in the Bitcoin mining industry, the better regulatory perspective, and Bitcoin's capacity to act as a hedge against fiat money debasement triggered by weaker economies, the odds for a new all-time high in the near term are increasing. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline: Ex-Goldman Sachs executive predicts weaker U.S. dollar, rallies for gold and Bitcoin amid macro summer. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal is updating his macro outlook, forecasting that a weaker dollar triggers rallies for gold and risk assets. Addressing his 1 million followers on the social media platform X, the Real Vision founder says that the Nasdaq has most likely finished correcting after bouncing off of a major support level. Powell notes that since at least 1964, the stock market has tended to outperform in the years leading up to the U.S. presidential elections. Looking at Bitcoin, the investor says, Bitcoin is ready to soon break the giant cup and handle and head into the banana zone. A cup and handle is a technical price pattern traditionally viewed as a bullish setup for continuation. The banana zone is how Powell refers to parabolic price action in crypto assets. The investor believes that gold is trading within a large ascending channel, potentially heading back to its upper range near the $2,500 level based on his chart. Gold should see its next leg higher soon too. According to Powell, the last thing that would ease financial condition further would be a weaker U.S. dollar, which he believes is likely. He shares a chart of the U.S. dollar index, or DXY, which pits the dollar against a weighted basket of major foreign fiat currencies, suggesting that DXY is trading inside a wedge pattern with the potential to break to the downside. Says Powell, this confluence of events maybe take a little more time to play out, or could happen with the FOMC, who knows, but good times lie ahead. Enjoy macro summer. Our next top headline: U.S. government-associated crypto wallet transfers $2 billion of DOJ-seized Bitcoin, says Arkham data. A wallet labeled as belonging to the U.S. government transferred $2 billion worth of Bitcoin to an unidentified wallet on Monday, according to Arkham intelligence data. The nearly 28,000 BTC, valued at over $2 billion, appears to be tied to funds the U.S. Department of Justice previously confiscated from the now defunct dark web market Silk Road. Late last year, a U.S. appeals court finalized a mandate that formalized the forfeiture of 69,370 of Bitcoin and other crypto connected to Silk Road. About an hour after the transfer was complete, the U.S. government appeared to split the Bitcoin into two separate addresses, allocating 19,800 Bitcoin, about $1.3 billion, into one address, and 10,000 Bitcoin, about $670 million, to another, according to a post from Arkham Intelligence. We believe this represents a 10,000 BTC deposit to an institutional custody service, said the data services firm. A U.S. government crypto wallet sent nearly 2,000 BTC to a Coinbase Prime hot wallet in April. The U.S. Marshal Service, the federal court's enforcement arm, announced it is paying Coinbase $32.5 million for custodial services. The DOJ seized the Silk Road Associate Bitcoin in 2020 and then began seeking the official forfeiture of the crypto, which at the time was valued at over $1 billion. According to Arkham Intelligence, the U.S. government's crypto portfolio still holds more than $12 billion in Bitcoin. Over the weekend, former U.S. President Donald Trump once again said we would be willing to commute Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht's sentence if re-elected president. So this concludes Crypto Top Headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.